We're going to talk about referrals. 3 points that are truly going to help you ask for referrals, get referrals, and maybe we don't even want to say referrals. Maybe we want to say introductions. I mean, really, why don't people ask for referrals? Why don't people ask for introductions? Well, one of the first reasons, let's really get into this a little bit, is because we feel like we're not adding value. Do you ask for referrals from everybody you sit down with, everybody you're having a conversation with? I ask that question so many times when I go in and speak or do a workshop. And the answers I typically get is because they're scared, they forget, they don't want to seem pushy. But here's my question. When you sit down with people, are you adding value to everybody you sit down with? Whether they say yes or no, whether they do business with you or not, are you adding value to them? And when you know that, it's not that big a deal to ask for referrals because you know that even if it's not a fit for them, it might be for that next person or the person behind them or the person behind them, because you're simply thinking about how can I help these people out, and that's all that matters. The next reason people don't ask is because we simply forget. It's not part of our process. We're not smart enough to be dumb enough not to have to think about it. Or we get this stuff caught up in our head that we don't want to ask, because really all it is, I'm forgetting to ask because I don't do it every time. When we just make it a habit, guess what you're going to do? You're going to ask every time. And the third reason, and one of the biggest reasons that I see people don't ask for referrals, we don't want to ask for help. And we feel like if we're asking for introductions to people, we're actually asking for help. And we don't want people to feel like, we don't want that client or that next client to feel like, oh my gosh, they're asking me for help? Are they not that good at it? It's all that stuff that goes through our head. So when you really look at this, what we have to do is we do have to let that go. We have to work on and practicing letting that go. So let's go back to the top with referrals. There's really 3 reasons why we're not asking. We feel like we're not adding value. We have to get past that because you are. You know that you're adding value to everybody you sit down with, whether they say yes or no. We're forgetting because it's not part of our process. It's not something that we just do all the time. So we don't make it easy on ourselves. And the last one is our mindset or our ego gets in the way because we don't want to ask for help. And what that comes down to is I simply don't feel like I need to do it. I'm scared to do it. It's not something I do all the time. Like I sit here and tell myself, well, what if I feel pushy? What if they feel like I'm pushy? What if they don't want to give me people? What if they feel like I'm overbearing? I'm going to tell you, let it go. Nobody's going to feel like you're feeling pushy because you're asking to help other people out. That is simply the thing that you're telling yourself, and you're projecting that onto other people because maybe at one time somebody asked you or somebody was overbearing, and now you're taking what they did and you're transferring it to other people. People don't care. Now you have to be sincere. You have to care. You have to ask for people that you're going to help out, not people you're going to sell, and just simply get past it. That's the mindset around it. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn out, based off who we just talked about, blah, 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 blah. How to get past this is we have to be planned when we go in. We have to look at our day and know who we're going to ask for. And it can be as simple as, I'm looking for somebody like you, but what happens there is that makes it really broad. So why I say that we have to actually ask for what we're looking for is if it's somebody in sales, somebody in business, somebody who sits around them, who's their best friend. We have to give them memory joggers and keep it really, really simple. If I'm asking for somebody that's a managing director, give them the title. A branch manager, a salesperson, give them the titles, the memory joggers, and that's what'll keep it simple. And keep it to a minute. Practice it. That's all you have to do. When you practice it on the way to that appointment, it's going to become second nature. So let's rewind here a little bit. We're talking about referrals, and what we're really talking about is why we don't ask, the mindset, and how to keep it simple. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to look at the bottom of this, and I want you to go in the comments, and I want you to leave me one of 2 things. One, why you're not asking for referrals, and be realistic with yourself. And the other one is, maybe it's one way that you are asking for referrals that can help somebody out. DM me, email me, call me, text me. This is not only going to help you, but it's going to help other people out if you simply just leave it in the comments. Let's make life easy, shall we? You've got this. If you are a person that struggles with asking for referrals and asking for introductions, subscribe to the channel, because what's going to happen is you're going to see other videos on there. You watch these videos and you will grow your business. It will happen, and I promise you that. Go get it. Put the ego aside and ask for help. You got this.